Apparently Nagatoro gets better later, and I am not doing the thing that I need to do. There we go. Yeah, apparently Nagatoro gets better. I don't know. I wouldn't even say it's like bad right now.
No,
It's
I don't know if it's bad. Actually, XD also told me that
I
it's
mean,
not bad.
I don't think it's bad. So okay, so Nagatoro, yeah, it's just basically what you assumed it was, right? It's like some dude is getting bullied by his underclassman. He's like a second year, she's a first year or whatever. Um, I don't know if it's supposed to be cute. Like I don't know if their relationship is supposed to be cute. There were a lot of people who were very upset in the Crunchyroll comments about how they were kind of like normalizing abuse, and I kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say that I agree with that in the sense that this is, high school fiction, but um, at the same
Like, how
time,
abusive is it?
I
Like, I
mean,
actually don't know because I didn't watch any of these shows, so I'm
what?
like,
So okay, so what the girl's name is Nagatoro.
hmm
What she's doing can be considered abusive. Like she's bullying him basically. Um, and it's all she has that personality where it's like she's really confident, and like her go-to way of flirting with him is to tease him to the point of bullying, and then she flips it like at the last second when he's not expecting it and becomes like really sweet. So it just flips back and forth between those two modes. But she has not shown any like tsundere side of herself, so it's not quite like, I don't know, like maybe what you would expect out of this kind of character. Well, anyways, the fact is that she's bullying him. You can't really call it anything else. And so, I mean, I'm kind of taking the show for what it is. I'm taking it at face value. I don't know. I don't think that she's like actually trying to be, well, she is trying to be just like a horrible person, because she admits it in the first episode. I think it was either the first episode or the beginning of the second episode. She just admits like, yeah, I'm being terrible to you. I don't know why you're putting up with me.
I,
So
I'm just trying to remember now. There's like some years ago. Wait,
yeah,
let me try and search it.
yeah,
There was this show. How was
yeah.
it
At the
called?
start, it's very straight up bullying, and you know, I can't say that I'm
So
like fully on board with the show yet, but I mean, it's okay.
I found a name. There's a show called Okami Shoujo to Kuro Oji.
I think I've heard of this
Um,
show, but I don't think I've watched it. I have. Okay, I've heard of that show that you just showed on your stream, but I haven't seen it.
okay, so this show, I
Yeah,
just realized I was trying to think
yeah,
if at all I've ever seen like the roles being reversed. So like the
yeah.
guy being the bully and the girl. Because I was just wondering, like,
Is it normally the girl in these kind of shows? Isn't it normally the girl that's the bully?
so I think in recent years, yes.
Uh
Like,
huh.
there's never. I don't think in recent years we've seen any like guy bullies girl to that kind of extent that it's like this kind of
Not in
thing.
recent years, because there's a classic called Kaicho wa Maid-sama,
Yeah,
and
but
that
um,
one is the roles are reversed.
but the thing that I remembered about this show is that
Yeah.
the whole point was um that his bullying was met by her being pretty strong-willed against him.
Sh-
Like
um.
the relationship wasn't that she was like a helpless, no confidence, whatever thing. Because all these like male characters that I see in these shows, like the
Yeah.
new ones,
Yeah.
they seem to be completely helpless most of the time. Like they look like like really out of their like depth.
Um. Yeah.
I don't know
He
if that's
is. He
totally
is.
true, but it
No, no. At
seems
least
that way to me.
in this show, he is out of his depth with her, because he's I guess he has some kind of social anxiety or something, but he breaks down really easily around girls, especially this type of girl. So, I mean, he's very susceptible to bullying, and in, I think it was the first episode where they had this like flashback where he's been bullied before. Well, hold on, let me read Selim's comment real quick.
Hmm.
He said she's just bullying him and having fun. They start, so later on they start like, spending actual time together, and then Apparently, Bunny Girl was this back and forth. Yeah, I think so. In Bunny
Wait,
Girl
Bunny
Senpai,
Girl Senpai?
in Bunny Girl Senpai, I don't really. Okay, so in the first half of Bunny Girl Senpai, I don't think that she's really bullying him on the same level as Nagatoro, because Nagatoro just goes like hard.
In Bunny Girl, there's no bullying, right? It's just teasing.
Yeah. Sorry, just teasing. But like, what Nagatoro is definitely a bully. Like you can't even like, what's it called, sugarcoat it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm feeling the show. I'll keep watching it to see if it actually does become more of a, mutual. These two people are friends slash, romance, whatever.
Okay, I see.
The only thing that I will have to say, the only thing I want to say about this show right now is that the voice actor for Nagatoro, Usaka Sumire, caught me off guard. I've heard a lot of her roles before. I had no idea she could do a voice like Nagatoro-san, so I'd say check out the first episode, see what you think.
Okay.
By the way, the voices do not carry this show. Like she's a great voice actress, but like her voice is not gonna carry the show if it ends up not being like your kind of show. It's not like in Mushoku Tensei where the narrator's voice like carries it so hard. Yeah. So
yeah, but we're not comparing anybody to Sugita.
Yeah, no.
There's no need to. That's borderline bullying.
No disrespect to Usaka, because she's great.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of her roles. I can see it now.
So the author's other works are pretty good as well. Like Kappa, okay, that Kappa is kind of like making me think that it's more on the on the ecchi side probably, because they're like they're towing the line between wanting to go into the ecchi realm in Nagatoro, and they don't quite go there.
Dude, that face tells you a lot.
Yeah.
This kind of face.
Yeah, I know. Especially the like a lot of the promotional art has her just, she looks kind of, I don't even know what to call it. It's suggestive.
Okay, suggestive
suggestive.
Suggestive enough of what it is.
Okay, I've said all I need to say about Nagatoro, I think.
Okay, I may or may not watch the first episode. I couldn't bring myself to do it this week, but I'll try.
You can leave it. You can leave it for next week or whenever you have time. More on the Dojin side, apparently. So I don't know. I kind of wanted to talk about My Hero. I don't know if you want to talk about My Hero or.
Go for it. What do you have to say? What's your?
Hold on, let me put my spoiler tag up, because this is fifth season.
General spoiler.
Spoiler 5th season, My Hero. Okay, so hopefully, if people have not watched My Hero yet, they should go watch My Hero. But I think, well, just to like recap real quick what happened in the past 4 episodes, they're doing like training. It's a lot of training. The first episode was pure training, like just class A by themselves, and then 2, 3, and like 4, I think all 3 episodes was like them doing other kinds of training, with a little bit of like head-to-head action with class B, especially I think episodes 3 and 4. They were trying to introduce a lot of the Class B characters, and flesh them out a little bit more, because I think it was the 2nd season when they did the school, whatchamacallit, sports festival. Like they called it the sports festival, right? But it was really just like them fighting each other. So
no, there was like sports in the beginning, and then like the last part was just a tournament.
Yeah,
like a martial arts tournament.
Hello. Yeah, exactly. So in that tournament we got to see a little bit of some of the Class B people, but the only one that really stood out was the dude who can do the brainwashing,
which wasn't from Class B. It was right.
You're right.
Course,
exactly, you're right. He's actually not from the hero course at all. He's from the support course or something like that. But the reason why he came back in this season is because he wants to be part of the hero course, which I thought was interesting, because like part of his backstory is that a lot of people have been hating on his power because it's very, you know, creepy, and it seems like a villain would use this kind of power instead of a hero. Um, but I think that he made really great use of it in the episode 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting because like he's actually very vulnerable when he's trying to get in position. He has to like get in position to snipe people with his power, basically. I thought that was cool. And if it wasn't for the mask that he uses to copy people's voices, then he would be kind of useless, I think, because like
I mean, before you say that, like
Sure.
the mask only covers the weakness of people knowing his power. If he just walks up to a random villain who doesn't know what he does, you can
That's
just
true.
ask them a question, and you're just like, okay, I won. Lol.
Yes, that's true, but yeah, no, you know what, I don't, there's no but there. Like I totally agree with you. If he went up to any villain and they had no idea what his power is about, he'd be able to win 100%. But I guess I'm just trying to say that the mask was cool. It was a good idea.
Yeah, I think so too. I like it.
It covers his weakness really solidly. So yeah, I like that a lot. Also, what else was there about these past 4 episodes? I mean, like, there was action.
There was
You
the
know,
vision thing that he
it
had
was
with the
cool.
first.
Vision thing? What vision thing?
Um, didn't Deku have like a vision of the first one in his dream?
Oh, yeah. Actually, thank you for reminding me because that was
I
actually
started thinking I imagined this.
no. You're right. That was really cool because he talked to All Might about it, and they were like, All Might was like, I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
I never
Like,
seen
it's
him.
like I've never seen that before. So that was a really cool moment. He spent a good chunk of the episode in this like, what's it called?
Like
Dream.
dream-like
It
state.
wasn't. It was kind of like a dream, right? Because yeah. Because he was sleeping.
Dream-like.
He was
Yeah.
sleeping, but I think it was like real. So I don't know what that was all about, but it was really
I think they
cool.
already alluded to that. He kind of stores other consciousness somewhere inside him, like
Yeah,
with that power. So
yeah,
it was just kind of like an interaction between them.
yep. I don't know if that's going to become like a running thing that occurs throughout this season and future seasons, because it kind of seems like it would, like he needs information from the past lives, right? Because somehow they're going to help him, right? They kind of like foreshadowed it a little bit that it's important for him to be communicating with them.
I think the main thing is that he's gonna need the help of the first one to beat his brother,
Oh
right?
yeah. Which, oh, by the way, I don't know if that particular lore fact was revealed in previous seasons or if it was just this season where we found out that the first, you know, person who carried One for All actually got it from All for One. So that was interesting. Did
Oh,
they
I thought so. When I said it, I was pretty sure they already know that.
You already knew that?
Not from like the. I feel like I've seen it in the anime already,
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm
But
asking. Like, did it come up in previous seasons? Because I
I
didn't
think
remember.
so. But
Maybe
the
they,
thing is,
maybe,
like when I saw it, it was like, yeah, that thing. I know this already.
yeah.
It felt recappy to me, but I can't really point out to when
I'm thinking
I know
that,
this from.
yeah. So, I mean, because in previous seasons, we knew that All for One gave out powers. I don't know how he even gets them. Because he's mentioned before that he just like acquires powers, but I don't really know if he's acquiring them from people or if he like somehow like makes new powers or something. I don't remember. Well, doesn't matter.
I don't think we know
I,
actually.
yeah,
Like we know that he can take them from people
yeah.
and put them
He
into
steals
other
them.
people.
Yes, he steals them. So we know that for sure. But because like, how did he just find One for All? Right? I think he did something and like made it or something. I don't know.
No idea.
So so when he abducted one of the heroes and took powers during Bakugo's kidnapping. I actually don't remember that. I remember Bakugo got kidnapped, but I don't remember what the heck happened when he got kidnapped. I just remember that All for One was being, you know, him, and then All Might came and destroyed everybody. which is what happens.
But yeah, overall
So
for me, My Hero this season, like they already had like 5 episodes, right?
it's 4 episodes. The fifth
Oh,
episode
okay.
is later tomorrow
Today.
for me. Well, today, later today.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, that's right. All
So,
for One stole the cat girl's power. I forgot about that. Um,
so yeah, like
what
four
I
episodes in,
yeah.
it feels like I mean they started. I mean there's like action, but the action feels very non-important. It is very training kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm still waiting for any developments to happen or anything like the fights are interesting like in the sense they're like the animation is cool, but I'm still
yeah.
waiting for anything interesting to happen.
Yeah, for sure. So apparently
But
this
they do
is
have 25 episodes,
yeah,
so
25 episodes.
so we
So
got a good run.
it's gonna be. I think there's gonna be a lot of developments. I mean, we have so much time for something cool to happen. Like you said, just all training. But I think it's like the whole purpose of this training is just to introduce the brainwashing dude into the mix. You know, like he was not important before. Now he's gonna be important, and I'm interested to see how. I feel like they're taking a long, like 4 episodes, not that much in a 25 episode season, I guess, but it's not like negligible either. So I think that they can really only spend like another 1 maybe 2 episodes on them doing like training type stuff, and then they got to get into the action, like, you know, with
I'm
the
pretty
real
sure they're
villains.
gonna skip the like at least that's my feel. They're gonna skip
Hmm.
all the ones till Deku's, right? Because they just wanted to show us the two fights where he participates in. Because he's
Yeah.
doing both sides, right?
Oh
Class A,
yeah,
Class B,
they're not gonna like show
and
any.
it's the first and the first and last.
I
So
think
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
assuming.
I think it would be a mistake if they took up anime time like showing all the other fights. Like they just don't matter, you know. So we'll see. If it's 25 episodes, it'll probably end right where the bad parts of the manga begin. Oh, I didn't even know that there were bad parts of the manga. Bad parts probably gonna be short. Feels like a lot more when you're waiting every chapter every week. Okay, so I mean, like, I don't read the manga. I don't know if you read the My Hero manga.
No, I do
Poser.
not. I
Um,
cannot read.
yeah, I think I'm not really reading any manga right now, but I mean, even if there are bad parts, I think it'd still be cool because like there's a lot crammed into every
Um,
episode usually.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think
like if they can wrap this thing up in 1 or 2 episodes. No, 1 episode is never happening. But like if they could wrap this up in 2 episodes, that'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
3 episodes would be kind of a stretch because it's like almost 1/3 of the season. But sure.
I think they need to wrap it up within 2 episodes. Otherwise, like, not a lot of good stuff is. Well, that's not fair to say, but I think that there won't be as much action as I want there to be if they don't wrap it up soon. But we'll see. I mean, it's too early to call it.
Yeah.
I think after tomorrow we'll know. Definitely by next episode we'll know. Next podcast episode we'll know whether. Or
Oh
not
yeah.
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 That's most likely.
Yeah.
So and that leaves. Oh, it leaves a lot of things. I mean, unsaid.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
So, what do you want
well,
to tackle next? Do
well,
you
so-
want to? Is there something you want to save, or do you want to just go over by order?
I'll just go in order of the stuff that I watched. But real quick, someone was saying that My Hero has dumb and bad plot points. I mean, like, we'll see. Can't really explain without spoilers. Yeah, so I mean, we'll save the spoilers, but I think it's hard for any manga to be like 100% interesting the whole time. You know? Cuz these shows they just get so long. I don't see how you would, you know, just make it super cool the entire length of the manga series. Like that's got to be insanely hard. I don't know anybody that can pull that off.
Also, I think there's one thing that people sometimes forget. A lot of the cool things that we want to see in these shows
Yeah.
sometimes require some weird plot like elements to make them happen.
Okay, hold on. I just remember when you said the word twist, I just remembered that I watched Oddtaxi. Please tell me that you watched Oddtaxi.
So
Poser,
Okay.
please.
Do you remember?
Did you watch Oddtaxi or no?
Do you remember
Okay,
last time? I love answering with stories.
Oh gosh.
So, do you remember when
Yeah.
we
How's it going, Cheat?
we did the last podcast and we went
Kiri-san,
over the
kiri-kiri-kiri
thing,
arigatou
went down, da, 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 da.
Mhm.
Then we looked at this and I was like, wow, this looks, I don't know, this looks like one of these like 5
Yeah.
minutes meme shows. So I don't know if I'll check this out. And I
Yeah.
kept going and I was
Yeah.
like, Shaft, I just wanted to get here.
Uh-huh.
This might be one
Wait.
of the biggest like surprises this season. Oddtaxi seems like it's a big banger coming at
Wait.
us from like out of nowhere.
Hold on, you were circling Bishonen. You mean Bishonen is gonna be like a sleeper hit?
No, I mean Oddtaxi.
Okay, Oddtaxi.
Is the sleeper hit.
Thank you. I'm so glad that we're on the same page here. Look, so let's talk about Oddtaxi soon.
Let's go. Oh,
okay.
you want to save it? Sure.
No, I want to save it. I want to save it. Yeah, but
Oddtaxi is definitely something people haven't watched for, and
oh god, we have to
strike from behind.
We have to promo Oddtaxi to everybody we know because
I'm shilling.
Yes, I shilled already earlier. I need to shill more. Okay, hold on. Let me read some comments. So he's like, I just learned from Kimetsu no Yaiba and Jujutsu and end your manga when it's meant to end. Yeah, so I think that's one of like the hard things that I don't know if manga artists are pressured either by fans or by the manga companies to keep going with the manga. So like one of the biggest culprits of this is probably Bleach. Because I think that anybody who has watched Bleach or read Bleach for any amount of time probably agrees that it should have ended at the Aizen arc, you know? And there's
I think it should have ended before even, but
well, okay, the Aizen arc was just, you know, it felt like a good place to end. I mean, like
yeah, for sure.
Anyways, yeah, a lot of like the author of Bleach is not the only person that is guilty of pushing the series way too long, but yeah, I don't know if there is just like external pressure, you know, from the people that are higher up in the company or whatever. Who knows?
I just want to say for Bleach, like,
sure.
I
Get
think
derailed.
one thing, yeah, just like it's a short defense in
Okay.
in the name of Kubo, the author and
Yes.
like artist.
Okay.
I don't think that he cares too much about the plot in that sense. I think he
Okay.
just really wanted to draw Bleach.
Sure.
Because his art is like 5 levels beyond his writing. It's always been because he just rehashes the same story every time just to draw new, cooler stuff that he came up with, new art concepts.
Okay.
That's how I saw Bleach, and
you
I
don't-
think it was like fair enough for him. Like,
Sure. It just happened to get popular.
because I'll do this with you in the Discord at some point if you want.
Sure,
But like the
sure.
story of Bleach and the arcs of Bleach of every character, they're repeating the same thing 3 times in the Aizen like timeline. They do the same thing 3 times.
Okay. Yeah.
But we can do that some other time.
So to be fair, it's been a long time since I watched Bleach, but and I dropped it after Aizen was done because I watched a little bit after that, but I was like, this isn't that great. I'm not gonna watch it anymore. I mean, I agree with Salam. Bleach's problem wasn't that it got too long. It's just like got really bad because, you know, at some point I just thought it wasn't interesting anymore, right? Like, and basically what you said, that he was just trying to draw really cool stuff that he came up with, and did it look cool? Oh yeah, sure, it looked cool, you know, because like when I watched Bleach, I was like, man, this is like the best animation, like the best fights I've ever seen. That's what I thought, but I mean that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have different opinions now. But anyways,
okay.
Let's talk about Fumetsu. No, not that. You told me to watch this one, if I remember right? I think
I did.
I watched it. Well, it had 3 episodes.
Wait, what?
2 episodes? 2 episodes? 3 episodes? 2
2
episodes.
episodes.
2 episodes.
Right?
Yeah.
I think third one's coming tomorrow or so.
It's Monday, I think.
Oh.
I think it's Monday.
Oh fuck! In 2 days. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
I
Monday.
guess 3 days.
Yeah, well, 2 days. Well, whatever. Anyways, interesting show.
How'd you feel about the first episode?
Yeah, so the first episode.
Could you tell me? Because I was kind of conflicted, and then the second episode really changed how I saw it.
You mean conflicted as in you didn't know whether you liked the show or you didn't like the plot, or I mean, I'll tell you what
I watched the first. Okay,
yeah.
go for it.
So I mean, I feel like it's there's some kind of like god that's just like playing with the world, right? Because the way that the first episode starts, it's very mythical in the sense that there's just like a random spirit being that got dropped onto the planet and then it just does whatever the hell it wants, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns into a rock, and then it turns into a dog, and and then eventually, you know, the dog goes and lives with the person, right? And so what I thought was interesting was seeing how this like spirit, I don't know what to call it, right, but I'm just gonna call it a spirit, how it like learned to mimic other things in its environment. I thought that was interesting because it's essentially like a soulless vessel, which is what we're seeing in the second episode. But my general impression of the first episode was that like I was interested in seeing like what the wolf was gonna learn, you know, because I was like, this wolf is not of this world, it is like an otherworldly being. So and then they kind of like, so I predicted that the boy was gonna die, FYI, just in the first like when they introduced him, and he was like, you know, I'd really like to go over the other side of the mountains, and I was like, you're dead. Because
The flag is set.
the flag was like raised immediately, because like when we were watching, exactly, first of all, I guess you can't really figure out how the spirit orb transforms just based off of that first interaction where it turns into a wolf, because like you can't be 100% sure that it has to do with death necessarily, right? But I had this feeling, you know, that was like, this kid, especially when the kid fell into the water and he got his leg stabbed, I was like, oh, he's done, he's dead, that's it. You know. So they tried to like introduce this like sob story in there. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's being a little harsh. Like I don't actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, I that's the thing I wanted to open to with.
Okay.
Is, like the first episode to me,
Yeah.
it really felt to me like they're trying to make me cry.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know. I don't feel like I know these people enough to care, or like that their story doesn't feel that unique to me enough to care on that level.
For sure. No, that's where I was going basically, because in the comment section, people were like, I cried, and I was looking at it and I was like, but you don't know this character, like you, and like, yeah, it was, sure, it's sad that he was abandoned.
It's sad.
Like okay, like he
yeah, okay.
it's sad, he was abandoned, and then he tried to, you know, make something out of his life and he failed. Like, sure, that's sad, but I just didn't have any attachment to the character, so, you know, I didn't cry. I mean, I thought it was sad, yeah, but
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, the second episode was interesting. I don't know if you had anything else to say about the first episode.
No, so like my experience with the first episode was that first of all, I thought in the beginning I thought they'll do I didn't see the boy dying, like I didn't like think about it too much.
Oh, okay.
So I figured like they'd travel together. Then it was like, oh, he's dead. I guess, oh, he's taken his form. I guess like every episode, like the wolf is gonna take somebody else's form, or he's gonna transform. And but then at the second episode, he, even though he's like in the boy's form, he's still a wolf, very much, right?
Yeah. Yes.
We can kind of confirm that.
Yeah.
He's like very much still a wolf, just like in human shape.
Right.
I really liked that whole village, every character that was there, the kid, and the fact that she actually ran away is just like everything that I wished for happened.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
the second episode kind of like got me hooked, because every single thing, when I look at these kind of stories, usually there's like a very particular way that they're shaped.
Yeah.
And they did everything right as far as I'm concerned in like breaking out of that mold.
Yeah, they did.
And then like the whole interaction between the kid and the wolf, it was somewhat comical. It was nice that it connected to her like motherly like needs and wanting to be like a grown up, so taking care of somebody else, that was kind of like nice.
Yeah, I have comments about that. I don't know if you had more to say. Okay.
No, go for it.
So what you said at the beginning, where the kid, I guess his name is Joan because like he was Joan when he was a wolf. Well, I'll just call him
Hmm.
Joan. I don't know what else to call him, so
Yeah,
I'll just
it's
call him
fine.
Joan.
Just call him Joe.
So, anyways, um, he was basically a wolf, right? Like you said,
Hmm.
all his actions were, you know, like because that's what he learned, because that's what the boy taught him, which I don't think that the kid had a name, but it doesn't really matter.
We can't know that by now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really
Kid's gone.
matter. He's gone, but because that's what he taught the wolf, was to like eat like a wolf, to act like a wolf, whatever. And then so the little girl, uh March, I think is her name.
Yeah.
So the reason why she was an interesting character, because it just happened that she is the perfect character to teach Joan how to become a human, because the way that she interacted with him, she was like, no, this is how you eat the fruit. And then like, you don't talk, why don't you talk? And then she would like put her hand on his mouth and like move his mouth and be like, this is how you talk, you know. an
Yeah.
adult an adult wouldn't do that. So it was interesting, because there's these like different expectations between what a child thinks a, you know, teenage looking boy should be capable of, and like what an adult is capable of. And then, you know, she is inadvertently training him to be a human, which is what he needs, because he didn't have that knowledge before. uh so that was interesting. And then like basically I agree with everything that you said. Like, you know, she ran away from the thing, she, you know, didn't agree to be sacrificed. There was that girl, Perona. I don't remember, the dark blue haired girl who like helped her
Or
escape.
yeah,
Yeah, they're not related, but it's
but she's like
basically like
her.
her older sister. Basically like her older sister, right?
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I actually, you know, I found the whole ritual thing very interesting. So I'm assuming that they were referring to like that big bear that lives up in the mountains, right? And
Yeah, I think so.
it just seemed really interesting to me that like they have this, you know, ceremony thing where they're like, oh, we must sacrifice, you know, untarnished girls to the bear. And but nobody agreed with it. Like it seemed to me like everybody in the village was just like
Yeah, they all
not.
know this is fucked up,
They
which
just
is
they
weird.
exactly they all knew that it was messed up. and and you could see that, especially in the parents. As soon as they got back home, they broke down. They were like, this sucks, like why do we have to do this, right? um
Hmm.
so that was really interesting to me. Like I just, you know, seeing that like village dynamic happen, because like you gotta kind of wonder if
Yeah, usually
things were
what
like
things
that.
happen. Yeah, usually people are like, "Oh, dude, such an honor," and they actually mean that, and they're
Hmm.
like so into it, and they're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, the sacrifice." And only the one character usually is like, "Hey, dudes, let's not do this."
exactly. Yeah, because it's like a kind of brainwashing, especially like on a religious level,
Hmm.
right? So, you know, I thought it was a really cool episode. And I, you know, I just want to, like I was saying before, I want to see how much this spirit
I wonder if they're
thing
gonna
can
touch
learn.
like the village anymore though,
I
because
don't think so. I
yeah,
think
I think they're just gonna leave it,
so. So
right?
you know how the narrator voice was kind of explaining how this works, right? And the narrator was saying at the beginning of the second episode, in order for the spirit to take a new form, something drastic has to happen, right? There has to be
Hmm.
like some kind of impetus, some kind of shock, right? Um, so I think that like I didn't read any of the source material or anything like that, so I'm just guessing here. But I think that like you said, there's gonna be, you know, very brief moments where he's in the village right now, but next episode he's not going to be in the village anymore. He's going to go somewhere else, and he's going to become something else, become stronger, become better, whatever. So
Okay.
it's hard to even say like who even are the main characters right now, because like the little girl seemed really important, but by next episode maybe she's
Yeah,
not going to
she
be
just
important anymore.
like what was going through my mind like after the second episode is like, wait, is this girl even gonna stay that long? Maybe like
Yeah.
2 episodes and she's gone. Maybe she's gonna die as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I
Like,
was saying,
who
I was saying
knows?
the same thing. I was like, maybe they're gonna die because we don't know who is safe with the plot armor because the kid died in the first episode. Like, we don't know, right?
Yep.
So very interesting.
So, but
Feels a little.
generally after the second episodes, I'm looking forward to this show. I think it
Yeah,
is gonna be an interesting ride,
I think so.
and it has 20 episodes, which is
20.
strange. That's good.
That's a weird number of episodes, but I'm down.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Okay.
I don't really have anything else to say about like the voice actors or anything like that. Oh yeah, well, the narrator is Tsuda Kenjiro. His voice is awesome.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about him. All right.
It's a good narrator voice.
Yeah, very good narrator voice.
Um.
Megalobox
Okay.
is the other one that I saw.
Okay. I'm just gonna do a speed round, just
Sure.
so we go over them by like kind of order.
Oh yeah, okay. Go ahead.
So, I shaved my beard, and now I am whatever. I'm changing my life. I feel like this show is dealing with
Yes.
like the subject and the material is like heavier than the show it can manage. Basically, that's
Ooh.
the way. There's like a dissonance
Huh.
because basically there's like a runaway girl
Yeah.
who I'm presuming comes from like some sort of like either abusive home or something. She's been like selling her body for a place to stay. She's like, okay, she's hanging in the streets, and some dude picks her up, and he's like, "Yo, you want to sleep with me?" He's like, "No," and that's like she had, like breaks her mind. He's like, "Whoa, you don't want to sleep with me? What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then like I feel like this show wouldn't do this kind of subject justice, which kind of annoys me.
Ooh.
At some level.
How many episodes are there?
3 or 4, I think.
No,
Because they now
sorry,
started talking.
I meant for this season. It's 13 episodes. This
Oh,
season.
13, yeah. No, but I don't think they're even gonna. I don't think it's gonna matter. Like the dialogue in general in this show is pretty nice overall.
Okay.
But it seems like when it comes to the like they just had the last episode like it talk about like her insecurities as a person like I don't know, it feels like the writing is not mature enough. It's like it's shooting a bit higher than what it can do. It's generally nice. Like the show is generally nice.
Okay. I think I know what you mean.
Looks kind of okay, but
Yeah.
I felt like it's an opportunity to talk about something really important and really interesting, and I don't think they're quite mature enough to do it. Like they can't like separate it from the rest of the show.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which is like
that's a bummer.
bittersweet kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check it out, but I feel like you've set my expectations appropriately here.
Yeah, I mean, the show is still nice. I'm
Sure.
enjoying it. Generally, it's okay. Isekai Mo, whatever. I watched the first one. I'm watching the second one. Don't watch it. It's a waste of time.
Okay.
Tokyo Revengers. Okay. Me and XD actually watched this together.
Oh yeah.
This show feels weird to me.
Oh.
On so many levels.
Let's go with the interesting art style.
So it has a bit of weird art style, like in the cover, I think.
Yeah.
It looks generally normal or like even like slightly below average animation.
Yeah.
It's like a time travel kind of show, but it's really weird. And people like for some reason, people say that this like manga is good. Apparently.
Oh.
Like people say this manga is good. Like you can check the ranking, you can check like what like people comment on it.
Yeah.
And supposedly it picks up. I'm right now just waiting for it to pick up. It feels really strange so far. It's like this kid who used to be like a gangster as a kid and kind of ruined his life, and like he's now like I mean he's traveling back in time, like from being like a useless my years old, which feels so weird to say.
Gotcha.
Like I'm finally at the point where people my age travel back to their high school life, which is when I used to watch them. I used to be on the person who they go back to.
Yeah.
So it feels really weird to watch this. I feel old, but yeah.
It's funny.
I like the Snoopy. On your cup. I think it is at least. I might be
Shaman.
wrong.
Yeah.
So Shaman King,
Yeah.
Shaman King, Shaman King.
What about Shaman King?
I'm now at the point where I start to remember scenes from Shaman King.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shaman King is really towards kids. Like
Sure.
I don't think you know there's like there's shows like the shonen shows. Some of them like we remember from our past that had like slightly mature size and then they had the kid size. I think Shaman King is generally only for kids.
Gotcha.
Like I don't think it has a lot of like added value hidden in
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
but that's fine.
Yeah.
86, some sort of a, how will I say this? I don't know. It's like a allegory to racism and slavery with sci-fi. We've seen this a lot of times
Yeah.
before.
This art looks like it's kind of nice.
The art is really good. The
Like,
music to
these
this
action scenes
is
are cool.
amazing.
Okay.
The music is amazing on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know how long am I gonna last because to me most sci-fi plots are just boring.
Sure.
But music's really good. The art's really good. There's like they're fighting robots, and then there's like Class B citizens, Class A citizens that control the Class B citizens, and then there's like this one Class A citizen that is not like the rest of them, and she cares for Class B citizens, which are usually used as like cannon fodder, basically.
Yeah.
That's like the premise. And she's like a commander in a new squadron that's like very notorious
Gotcha.
to being rebellious. That's basically the premise.
Yeah.
So we like seen this plenty of times, I feel, but I mean, if you're interested, you can check it out.
Okay.
It hasn't done anything wrong, but it hasn't done anything right yet. So
Gotcha.
it's still like in the middle. I want to talk about this show for a moment.
Okay.
Sentoin Hakenshimasu. I think it's called Combatants Will Be Dispatched in English. Sentoin Hakenshimasu.
That one. Okay. Yes, this one.
So this show is from the creator of Konosuba. I feel like I told you about it.
Like,
you
mentioned it to me. Yeah.
So this show, like for me, is just like better Konosuba. We have like sci-fi.
Well, hold on 1 second. So how much did you like Konosuba?
I thought Konosuba was like a 7.
Okay. All right.
It was just like it was sometimes funny, but a lot of times it felt like it was kind of missing a lot of fun.
A better Konosuba is a pretty good evaluation, I think. So, all right. Sorry.
So
keep telling me about the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So like this show, just like the characters are a bit more fun, and like the setting is also kind of more fun because I mean, they're still like in a fantasy world, but
yeah,
it's a bit more of an interesting kind of situation. There's like the two main characters that comes. You have the same like kind of situation with like Aqua and Subaru.
Okay.
Right. Wait, is his name Subaru? No.
I can't remember what the dude's name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. So it's the same kind of thing, but the two main characters are better now. Which is nicer.
Okay.
So he's like an upgrade and she's an upgrade.
An upgrade? That's funny.
It just feels to me like the writer, like the author, kind of learned some lessons and he's implementing them pretty well.
Okay,
that's why I'm saying an upgrade.
Okay. And
that's how it translates in my head. Because a lot of things that I didn't like, it's like things that I liked in Konosuba stay, but things that I didn't like are not here.
Oh, interesting. So do you have an example? Do you have an example of something you didn't like in Konosuba?
Like dragging like gags or some sort of like
they do repeat
very
a lot of gags.
Flat kind of like plot points that like episodes would be based on. Then these things, like I didn't feel them yet. I think it was 3 or 4 episodes in. I still didn't feel any of those things, which I already felt in Konosuba back in the time.
Gotcha.
So these things, like I feel, are a bit better. The dialogue is like, it feels to me like a bit smoother. And the premise is just more interesting because there's an actual premise to this. It's not just like isekai period.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Okay.
And of course, the premise actually plays into what's happening, so it's interesting.
Gotcha.
So I definitely think this is a show people should check out. I would say this is a should check
I
out this season.
I will check it out.
Um, I'm trying to keep running down until I reach Megalobox here.
How far down is Megalobox? Oh, it's pretty far down,
No,
actually. It's pretty far down.
Oh, for me it's close. I'm soon getting to it. But you can tell me what you have on the way.
I have a lot of stuff, but
like
whatever. Like you get to it when you get to it, and then we'll be fine.
Okay. There's like the Killing Slimes anime. I don't know. The first episode was kind of nice. Second episode wasn't kind of nice.
Sure.
I'm waiting on the third one. Like I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this.
Okay.
It's like supposedly like there's this like office worker who she worked herself to death.
Yeah.
So as a reward, she like isekais herself to like a most comfy life she could think of.
I see.
Like, and she asked for immortality basically.
Okay.
So she kills like 25 slimes a day, and she became like a...
Hold on, I think we discussed this. Like it's like the South Park thing.
Yeah, it's like it's exactly
funny.
the South Park thing.
Oh, it is.
So,
okay.
So she became like most OP character in that universe.
Yeah.
And people learned about it by mistake because like after 300 years, like a guild member was like, "Yo, can I evaluate you just for shits and giggles, just to check your
your stats
out?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure, you can do it. And then they realize she's super strong. Then a dragon comes to attack her. The dragon fails miserably. Second episode, some other people challenge her. They fail too for other reasons. Then like I don't know. It's
so
like sometimes it's kind of funny, then sometimes it's kind of like.
So she does that for 300 years. That's funny.
Yeah, she just does it on her way back and forth to the town. Actually, they're just like they're on the way to like infinitely resurrecting. So she just like flicks them and they die. It's not like she doesn't train or anything. She's just doing it as a casual
I
thing.
see. That's so funny.
Yeah, like I thought it was funny too. It was like the first episode was really nice.
The concept is funny because I haven't seen it yet, but I will.
Yeah. Fruits Basket is the final season. People who didn't watch it, then like there's nothing to say about it really.
Yeah.
People who didn't watch it know what's up. It's Fruits Basket. It's doing pretty good. Hey, oh fuck! I even forgot to say I'm watching this.
Which one?
Let me edit live. So this is the last show that I had on my mind to check out this season was Vivi Fluorite Ice Song. Okay. Which I think a lot of people are gonna sleep on this show. So you can get ahead of everybody else.
Okay.
Now,
the promotional art doesn't look so great, but sell it to me.
Okay, so what if I told you? Okay, what if I told you that if you watch like the first 20 seconds, you will be probably in enough to watch the entire episode. And if you'd watch the entire episode, you'd be in enough to watch the entire season.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
So,
I like those shows.
So let me just sell it to you on like the concept, okay?
Sure.
What if you had an idol made like, I don't know, someone like in our time where AI is like just starting to be a thing?
Okay.
And she's like one of the first autonomous AIs.
That's an idol.
And then a robot from the future comes back like 100 years from now to tell her AIs are gonna kill all humans and they're gonna stop them.
Okay, sounds very Matrixy, but okay.
Yeah, it sounds almost Terminator-ish.
Oh yeah, that's more like Terminator actually.
So what if I told you all that happens and supposedly there's like this kind of like a political scheme to like kill people who are gonna make some legislation to treat robots as equals, and there's like all sorts of things going on with like that landscape. And all of that is done with insane animation, very fun and witty dialogue that goes very smoothly, and seemingly like the two robots like interaction is like it works so well. Like I haven't seen that kind of like chemistry in a long time.
Okay, that sounds pretty interesting. This sounds
Now,
like it
what
has
if I
elements of
told you that you
Terminator and
didn't even
elements of...
need to know all of that?
Wait,
Because
why?
the 21st seconds, I'm pretty sure are gonna pull you in. But what if I told you you didn't need to know all that? Because the person who writes this
Uh-huh.
is the writer for ReZero.
Ooh, interesting. I like ReZero. Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like people are sleeping on this. It's an original, so there's no manga, so people don't
Oh.
know about it in
Oh
advance.
ho.
Okay?
Oh, I like that.
Now, which studio is doing it? They dropped doing Attack on Titan to do this, so it must have
So it
mattered at
must be
least a
good.
bit.
It must be good.
I
Okay.
don't know. Original series are always like either very good or very
Very bad usually.
yeah.
Yeah.
So because
Okay.
somebody had to want to do this.
And they have to green light it past the production board, which
Yes.
takes like millions and millions of dollars. So, you know.
Now I'm just reminding you, Wit is like it's the
Yeah.
action that Wit produces is
Yeah.
like that's Attack on Titan, it's Vinland
tier.
Saga. They do some top tier
Top tier.
animation.
Okay.
I think people are gonna sleep on this for like at least a month or two till
Mhm.
we're gonna start hearing about this popping off.
Okay.
I just want to call it right here. I watched the first episode, second and third like yesterday. I think there's
Yeah.
4 episodes out.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay.
so
You sold it to me.
this watch. Thank you everybody. That was my TED talk.
Okay. I'm educated now. I will check it out for sure.
So Zombieland Saga. It's just second season. We know what's up.
Yeah. First season was good.
It's doing
second
the same
season was
things, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah. Okay. We
I'm
can
down.
keep going.
I'm down.
Koi to Yobu. Do you know what that is?
I don't see that on my list. I see it on your screen. Where is
There's like old brother of said blonde girl falls in love with other girl because she saves his life. Yeah, and she's
see it
not
here.
super into it, but maybe
Is
she's a little
this-
into it.
Okay. It's under the
I don't know.
OVA / special category. Interesting.
There's no reason for it to be. Oh, it was a web manga apparently.
Oh, maybe that's why. There's 4 episodes out already. Wow.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's nice.
It's nice. Okay.
It's
I'm down.
it's not like super special new kind of interaction or anything like that.
But it's a rom-com.
It's very
though.
nice.
It's a rom-com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
There's
the
some-
characters feel nice
there-
to watch.
Oh yeah. That sounds
I
good.
reached Megalo.
Yeah, Eden Zero, that's a fairy tale thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Megalo. So
I'm so glad you guys watched it with me again.
yeah, I'm really glad that I watched it too. How's it going, Shide-san? We're just talking about some anime.
How do you feel so far about the second season?
Let me put up spoilers.
I have like a very distinct take.
spoilers
right now.
For give me 1 second. Megalobox season 2. Okay. Okay. So quick question. At the end of season 1, it was kind of like a happy ending, wasn't it? Like, weren't they okay?
Yeah.
because in the first episode, the first episode of Megalobox, I was actually like not really following the story 100% because I was like, what is going on? Like, why is Joe so effed up right now? Right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, something happened that we don't know of yet.
something happened that we don't know of, and they're giving us bits and pieces of it. But especially in the first episode, whoops, I hit my mic. But especially in the first episode, I was feeling like I have no idea why the heck Joe is like this. He was back to boxing like in the crappy, fixed matches stuff.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense to me because at the end of the first season, he was like the champion and everybody was happy. And I'm assuming he was, very wealthy after that. Like, he must have made a ton of money. I don't know. I just assumed.
I mean, we know that they had like
They had money
bets
problems.
on themselves.
Yeah, well, they had money. They had money problems too. But I mean, I just thought that he made a ton of money.
I think that was like the point.
Yeah,
They were gonna open a gym with it or
right.
something.
They opened a gym. That's right. Thank you for the follow, Biff. Appreciate it. Um, I I thought that they were totally okay. So yeah, like 5 years have passed, right? And we have no clue what happened with the coach because for some reason he died, and
Yeah.
then Sachio left because of that. And apparently it was Joe's fault, but we don't actually know why it was his
I
fault.
think when they say a lot of times
How's it going, man?
this is the
How's it
thing that
going,
comes
Biff?
up
How's it
when
going,
people
Kuba?
say it's
Appreciate you guys
somebody's
coming by.
fault.
We're
Usually, I
just
think what they
talking
mean
about some
is
anime.
like you could have been there for him more than like they mean like it's his fault.
But we know that the coach was caught up with like the yakuza or the gangs, right?
Yeah.
And so it's quite possible that he got himself into some trouble. And then there was the scene where he was like in the hospital or something. The dude was dying.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, but I think that Sachio expected Joe to come and beat people up because that's what he does. That's what he's good at,
Hmm.
right? And he didn't do it. So and then that's okay. So this was like episode 2, I think, where we were kind of starting to like get more information on why Joe is taking so many drugs,
Hmm.
and just getting wasted so that he can fight in the ring, and he's like trying to kill himself with that basically. Um, but yeah, I think that that's when I started to understand like why he was doing that to himself, because he blames himself for the death of the coach.
Yeah.
And so I actually really like all this stuff that's going on right now with Joe helping out the chief. He's called Chief. I don't know what his real name is, but
Yeah.
and also like what they're doing for this like little community, like a trailer park community that they have going on here. I actually am just like
Yeah.
digging the whole. I'm on board with this whole
Yeah. So
story.
coming into the second season,
Yeah.
like I was super surprised. Like I
Yeah.
had a few stages. The
Okay.
first one was like I was super surprised they're making a second season because I felt so content with the first one.
For sure.
The second one was excitement. The third one was fear because the first one was so good, and I was like, wait, what if the second one doesn't have anything to
Yeah.
like? What are they gonna do? And the fourth one was just like anticipation, just like see what's gonna happen. Now,
Yeah.
as I started watching, I realized they like I should have just trusted them. They just made a new story that is like it's in the same world. It's a follow up, yes, but it's completely separate. I really like the darker, gritty tones that they're going for, which is just
Mhm.
like it's amazing to see it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just like, uh, in my opinion, they're just like ascending over themselves. Like, I'm really on board with the second season. Yeah, it's just like
100%.
this feels like the 100% number one thing to watch out for this season. It's like every week, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, for sure. And so same, basically I have the same opinion as you because I was very satisfied with season 1. And what's so nice about what the direction that they're going in so far with season 2 is that it's not really about Joe, it's more about like Chief and what he's trying to do as an immigrant, you know
Hmm.
and so I thought that was cool because Joe is still important, right? Because he's now essentially the coach, right? And
Yeah.
he's on his redemption arc, and Chief is over here on like a separate redemption arc, and it's really good. So I'm
Yeah,
digging it.
it's really good. Also, I always felt like since the first season,
Yeah.
Joe felt like an immigrant himself, right?
I
Does
think he
not,
is.
like,
I think he is an immigrant too. Yeah.
right? Because it felt like people were referring to him like as one, like as a like
Because
street dog, whatever. Like,
yeah, because remember he doesn't have his citizen card or whatever it is, because that was like the
yeah,
whole reason why he couldn't even join the tournament in the first place in season 1.
yeah.
So,
So I figured like he's like he gotta have some sort of attachment to that community.
I think so. I mean, yeah, yes and no. I mean, he's not really the
No,
kind of
not
guy.
like not like blood attachment. I mean like attachment, like a spiritual attachment
Then
to like the idea of like being an immigrant.
yes, I know what you mean. Especially more so because they took care of him after he got sick or passed out or whatever
Hmm.
happened in episode 2 or 3.
True.
So there's a lot of like plot threads that are coming together that are really interesting because the kid whose name I forget, but he's like involved with the gangs and they're trying to like sabotage the trailer park community. And then there's the whole thing where like they're being run off the land because that I thought that was interesting. They
Mm-hmm.
made this comment about how the locals were complaining that the immigrants were coming in and taking all the jobs and stuff. And so that's something that people here in the US say
Yeah, it's a
about
very
us.
U.S. thing,
Yeah, it's a very
isn't it?
US thing. They say that about Mexican immigrants here. And so, like, you've probably caught on that, like, it's a Spanish community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a Latino community, Hispanic community,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But the point is that people from the U.S., like white people from the U.S., say those kind of things about Latinos here, that they're taking their jobs, that they're not paying taxes, that they're living on the land and they shouldn't be, right? So it was interesting for me to like immediately see these parallels between my real life, and what they're doing in this anime.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like they're doing a pretty like good job at just setting the world. The pacing is really
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, every character they introduced so far was yeah, it's fun to watch.
Good character. I really like characters like Chief. By the I've never really talked about this before.
Hmm.
I don't really know how to describe it. Like he's just a very likable guy, because
Hmm.
he's got a lot of confidence. Um, he's very capable. He's throwing the matches, sure, like when they're fixed. But now that he's actually like trying to put his effort into it, he's good at what he's doing.
Yeah,
Um, what else to say about him? Like, he's just a great character, and I
yeah,
like people like him.
the thing is like I feel like the reason we like him, there's like
Hmm.
two reasons. Okay,
Yeah.
one is he's doing something that we are supposed to not like, which is the fixed matches. But he
Yeah.
has a very strong principle which he presents, and he very much
Yes.
believes in it. He's not ashamed in it. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm doing it because I'm trying to help my people survive, and if that's what it takes, like my pride doesn't really mean anything, which is like respectable.
Yeah. I like that
And
line.
the other thing is that we already know that he already dealt with his like drug issue and like whatever he was going through in the past.
That was
He's
cool too.
past he's past like his like low. We already see like this is like the hero reborn basically, and
Hmm.
but we see it through Joe's eyes. So he
Yes.
gives that sort of like mentor feeling, even though Joe is helping him out with his boxing
In a way,
and like
they're mentors for each other,
mentor
right?
each other. Yeah.
They're mentoring each other because Joe has the skills to get Chief to the top
Hmm.
of the boxing world, and Chief
Hmm.
has, like what you said, he overcame his low, and he has the skills to get Joe past his low. And so it's so cool. It's so good.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad Megalobox is
I
back.
know. I love Megalobox. Yeah, man, I should have watched it earlier. I can't believe I skipped out. Well, I'm glad that we watched it recently, but
I was so surprised.
yeah,
Every
I
time people
know.
tell me they haven't watched Megalobox, I'm very surprised.
I've been
But
chilling.
yeah.
I've been chilling season one Megalobox since like ever since we finished.
Um,
Yeah,
amazing.
really,
So
real
I
good
feel like
stuff.
there's a few more shows. Like, can I say something real quick before I
Sure.
forget it?
I'm very
So
eager to talk about Oddtaxi. So
yes, Oddtaxi so far below, like in the list in the chart, which
yeah,
is so funny because it should be at the top.
it
But
should be number one. It should be number one.
um,
Yeah,
coming
for
to this
sure.
season, I was saying how last season was so amazing.
Yeah.
This season doesn't seem like it has a lot to it.
Hmm.
Like just from this conversation, we can already see like this season.
It's
Like
gonna
I
be
thought
good.
it's not gonna be a stick,
It's
but
gonna be good.
it has a lot of good stuff in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, Joran is one of Joran, the Princess of Snow and Blood,
Oh, is that
is
good
one
too?
of the shows that um that's a good question. That's a question to be asked.
I see.
So it's one of the shows that for me feels like the most uh like there's the biggest gap between what it can be and what it is.
Ah,
It's like everything about it is very clean. It's like the animation is amazing, music is very good, the premise is insane,
yeah,
the characters are generally like they're genuinely written well. Like
yeah.
everything seems good about the show. It's just like something is not clicking with me. I don't know if I'm the problem or not yet, because everything about this show screams I am good, but watching the episodes feels like I don't know, just
Hmm.
very empty feeling for me.
Oh.
It's another original show,
Oh, it
so
is. Okay.
I definitely recommend checking it out because it's extremely unique in what it does.
Okay.
Um, I really feel like it deserves attention, but I can't justify it because I just I don't know, I'm just not enjoying it.
Okay.
Um,
I feel
so
you.
yeah, I don't know what should be said about this. Maybe if you check out one episode, you can let me know how you feel about it.
Yeah.
I feel like the first episode does bring out like the other episodes to me didn't feel that different, so it does give you enough to work with.
Okay.
Um, it's definitely an interesting premise, and like again, like it everything about it is done well. There's nothing bad about it. It just like the experience feels like not good for me. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
actually can't explain it.
Okay.
Maybe you could.
I just watched the PV again real quick, and I mean, art looks good. Action looks good. So I mean, I'll check it out. There's a lot of shows that I want to check out this season, so for sure. And we can talk about it next time.
So there's a few throwaways here. There's the more SSSSS. Trigger is like I don't know. I didn't like the first one. I'm not watching this one.
Yeah.
We got the Seijo, the girl who isekai'd and she became like a brew. How do you say it? She brews potions basically.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a comfy show if people are interested. I don't recommend this too much, but if you need something very nice and light,
Slice
it's
of
extremely
life.
light.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
There's a comedy show. It's a sports show. It's kind of funny.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the potion show?
No. I'm past it now.
On the comedy? Okay.
Yeah. Is this this isn't a made up sport, is it?
No, it's a real sport. It's just it's not very big.
Oh, gotcha.
Now it looks kind of funny. Like the idea of it is, it sounds silly to us. It's if I remember correctly, it's originating from India or so.
Gotcha.
I don't know what kabaddi means, but basically there's like rules to the sport. They seem kind of funny to Western audiences. The sport is very serious, and to play it is like you need to be like either very buff or very agile. It's like extreme level of fitness to play this, which is I don't know. I feel like the sport is interesting, which it makes the show fun to watch.
Okay.
It's generally funny. It has like a commentator saying not commentator, wait, like a narrator saying like funny words sometimes when they're doing the matches. Which is fun. I don't know. It's just I feel like this show is definitely like a nice sports show to watch.
Okay.
And there aren't many this season, so I'm always down. You know me.
Yeah.
Do you know this game, Subarashiki Kono Sky the animation? Have you heard about the game? It's
yeah, like several of my friends have played the game, which I think was on DS, right? And then
so I heard.
I haven't played the game, and I don't think I'm ever going to, just because like I'd have to emulate it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I heard so I heard the game was good, and I'm guessing that the anime is probably going to be decent. I haven't seen it.
I checked 2 episodes out.
Okay, what do you
the animation is kind of jarring.
Sure.
The general plot, I don't feel like it works, and the premise is like. The premise is like, I'm 50-50 on the premise because like, the idea is interesting, but it seems like the implementation is not very good.
Okay.
I haven't watched the first. I don't know that I'm going to continue this.
Sure.
Because I wasn't super into it. The voice actors, there's a lot of good voice actors here, as there are in many game adaptations from the DS.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they can carry anything here. So.
Okay.
This right now, I'm at the area where I kind of want to drop this. Most likely. Probably not gonna watch third episode, but maybe I will and then decide.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I gotta do this thing. Yeah, there we go. I'm good.
Super Cub is weird. I don't know why I watched it. I can't explain why I watched the first episode. Yeah, I don't know.
This looks a lot like different anime that I saw some episodes of where these girls were in like a motorcycle club.
Bakuten, you mean?
Yes.
I know. I know it does. So this is basically like
It looks exactly
there's like
like
this
it.
girl.
Except the
So
art is
there's
way
this
nicer.
girl, and she's apparently, I don't know if she's orphaned or what's up with her, but she lives alone for some
Sure.
reason in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And she goes to school. And she's kind of tired from going to school. Then on the way back from school, she's like buys a scooter.
Yeah, just casually has the money to buy a scooter.
So she doesn't. She buys like a super used one
Yeah.
with like for like 15,000 yen or something. So it's not like super expensive. She buys
Cheap.
like a reasonable price scooter, and
Okay.
it's like this old dude is kind of like teaching her how to drive it, and she's like learning. And yeah, she just kind of like drives the scooter back home. Then she uses it to get to school. And I'm assuming other people are gonna join her in the future.
Yeah,
I don't know.
just read the
It
synopsis.
felt like
Doesn't sound very
I
interesting.
felt like when I watched this show,
Yeah.
I felt like I can't recall the experience of watching it because I felt like I didn't watch anything.
Oh.
It felt like nothing happened, and yet 20 minutes have passed. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I really felt like my brain got turned off.
I
for the
would say
episode.
that's a bad thing. I wouldn't view that as a good thing.
No, because sometimes you do want to like shut your brain off.
That's
but
true.
It just felt like nothing happened. Like her character wasn't developed. Like nobody else was like that significant. There wasn't too much music, so
Yeah.
there was nothing really engaging about it. The animation wasn't like there was nothing special about it.
Gotcha.
The setting is just like it's just like normal Japan. Like it felt like nothing happened besides like girl X bought a scooter this episode.
Sometimes shows like that are okay. Like for example, Eurocamp. Like I like shows where it's just slice of life.
But Eurocamp develops characters.
Yeah, it does. It might not be a fair comparison. I'm just saying like more as.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like plot wise, it's not like anything is. There's no mystery. There's no like action or whatever. But it's. I think I understand what you're saying though.
Well, yeah. So right before we get to Oddtaxi, okay?
Okay.
Right before we do, okay?
Yeah.
Shaft released a new show. Shaft hasn't been doing well the past few years. Basically since like 2018 when they finished Monogatari.
Yeah.
They haven't been doing well.
Unfortunate.
So this was a chance to come back with Bishonen Tanteidan, which is like a pretty detective boys club, basically. I'm just gonna summer it up in one sentence because I don't know if like you haven't watched it, right?
I haven't watched it. Look at the PV now.
So basically, I'm gonna summer it up in one sentence.
Sure.
My opinions about the show. I feel like this show is trying to be what Shaft used to be.
Is that a good thing? It sounds like a good thing to me.
And they're failing.
Oh, that sucks.
Wow. It felt like I literally saw one scene there. There's like a scene where they're looking at the stars.
Yeah.
They're talking, and I could already feel like flashing in my head like other like past shows that used like stargazing and dialogue like back in Shaft because they love doing like dialogue over some sort of like interesting animation or like very like pretty animation, and I could already see like how this show felt like kind of like an empty husk of whatever Shaft used to be. Gotcha. I don't know if that's me already bought into the like the world where Shaft is not making good shows. It could be that I'm just like very pessimistic in my evaluation of them by now.
Yeah.
Well, it could be, but it just felt like there was nothing about this show that did anything interesting.
I guess it's not necessarily Shaft's fault, but I mean,
I like Shaft lost a lot of employers. That's kind of like what's going on. Like they lost a lot of their top talents.
Gotcha.
Past few years.
Yeah.
And that just happens. But I wonder if like. Yeah, I don't know if they can bounce from it. I will check the second episode, but the first one was like in this season. This was like not even worth noting in more than that one sentence, I feel.
Yeah, I feel you.
So yeah, that's like my 2 cents on it.
Okay.
Oddtaxi.
Odd
I'm here.
Oddtaxi, man. This is the good stuff. The moment
This
we've been
is
waiting for.
this is the goods
The good stuff. This
we
is
got here.
the
People
show.
are still okay. So wait,
How is
I'm
this?
just gonna like.
It's not fair for the show to be a 7.6 here. This should be way higher, in my opinion.
So can I just cite that only 4,700 people
That's
like
nothing.
have this show scored, and like if we're just comparing to other shows this season, we have like My Hero with 460. That's fine. Like 460,000
Yeah.
over 4,000,
Yeah.
and then we have like
No comparison.
Nagatoro with like 270, or
That
like
was
things
the-
are usually in the hundreds of
In
thousands.
the hundreds of thousands. Holy
And this
cow.
is
Didn't even break 10,000.
4,700.
Didn't even break
This show
5,000.
is gonna be one of the most slept on events in recent memory.
It's sad because like, so I actually started watching Oddtaxi on a recommendation. Like someone, I think it was like last week, told me to watch this show, and I was like, okay. So when I sat down today, I watched it all in one go.
Because that's like
it was so
you
good.
just have to.
The first episode is so good. Also, the music is amazing too for the opening and
Yeah, I've been posting about it in the Discord when I first watched the first episode, and then like when I heard the music, I just had to post it as well. It's just
so
like,
good. Yeah.
damn, this opening is like
What
a banger.
It's so great, and there's so many parts to the music that I like. The guitar part in the beginning. I like this, like the sax solo in the middle. Like, oh, it's so good.
And
So,
the thing
love
about
it.
it is that, like good OPs, like they have to be good by themselves.
Yes.
But this one also kind of like it feels like it encapsulates a real spirit of like the city that they're in. If that makes sense. That kind of like,
I think so.
I don't know if you call it jazzy vibe or like or this kind of like funk to it with like the whole nightlife kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I just everything about Oddtaxi is just like it's working. Everything they're doing feels like, yes, the dialogue is great.
The dialogu's amazing.
If you saw the
real
last
good.
like episode, like there's this talk between like the main character and the alpaca.
Yeah, I really like their relationship.
Yes, it was so clean.
I love their relationship. I don't know like why it's so interesting to me. How's it going, Usagi? Thank you for the 8 months in a row.
Everything
Wow,
about it feels so natural, like development of whatever like was prior to it.
Because you know what?
Yeah, it just feels very good.
But like I do want to talk about a little bit about what's going on between the two of them, because she's 28 and he's 41, right? And so this is a pretty big age gap, and like there's something to be said about being closer in age to someone who you're interested in. But the thing is that like he, I don't even think that he really has any like confidence issues. He's just more like confused. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like
she's like, why are you into me? That's kind of weird. No.
She really came at him hard. Like one day, like it was like kind of out of nowhere. Right, and this does this does happen in real life too, where like somebody's just really interested in you, but it was so like he just wasn't expecting it at all, and then all of a sudden like this girl's interested in him, and he's like, what? It's just like, and for the first, it felt like for him for the first time, like he was starting to like experience like what it's like to be caught up in some kind of romance, and so he was like very on his guard, but in a very adult, mature kind of way. This is not the same kind of like relationship that we would see in a high school anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like very, well, I don't know what I'm getting pulled into. Kind of like not sure I want to open up to you, but this is kind of interesting to me.
100%.
And he definitely cares about her, which we saw like through the
you know what I really like. Yeah. He has a conversation with the monkey. I can't remember the dude's name. But anyways, that I love the way that the two of them talk to each other, because they're obviously good friends, right? And the way that he qualifies how much he likes her is funny to me, because he's even though his type of personality and his humor is very deadpan, right? Like he just is extremely blunt with people, and so when the monkey dude is like, well, how much do you like her? And he's like, you know, about as much as the size of a supermarket in the US. And I laughed. I thought that was funny. And then later on, when the monkey checks in with him again, he's like, well, now how much do you like her? And he's like, about the size of Jupiter. It was like, it cracked me up. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, and it just like it really like helps demonstrate like their kind of relationship. I feel like they're doing such a good job at like
so
kind of
good.
establishing
So good.
like the human relations, or like I say
Yes.
human relations, but I guess like the connections between characters, I should be saying.
Yeah. Yeah, for
They're
sure.
doing it really, really well. Really, like they're not wasting any time on it, like more than they need to. They're doing it very cleanly.
Yeah.
And they keep it very consistent as well. Like as you saw, they have like this type of conversation with like these two characters, and it keeps up
Yes.
in our episodes, which is so nice to see.
Yeah.
This setting is very interesting. And who is this girl in his apartment, or like not girl?
We haven't. We
Like,
actually haven't even seen her, so we don't even know like exactly what's going on. Supposedly she's there, but we don't know. So you know.
like, I mean, he probably did kidnap her, right? Or like, I don't know, maybe he's hiding her. I don't know what's happening.
But that's what's so interesting, because like he seems like a really good guy, and then like he's involved in this, you know, kidnapping or something. Like we don't actually know
Yeah,
for
and he
sure
also
what
knows people from the mafia, right?
Okay, this is that's exactly like the thing that is what hooked me onto this show from the beginning, because every single character is shady in some way. Every character, it just, but at the same time they don't seem like bad people. They're just like, you know, have their hand in a place that they shouldn't have their hand in, you know. So it's so interesting when there's all these like plot twists basically, you know. Yeah. So I think it was, dude, at the end of the first episode, so a lot happened in the first episode. I don't even think I cover all of it, but
no.
So
I can't even remember everything.
Yeah, so okay, so they set up the whole kidnapping thing, right? And then one of the cops took the camera footage from inside of the taxi cab.
Yeah, he took the footage. Yeah,
he took the footage, and when he handed it off to the monkey criminal dude at the end, like it was literally like the last frame, like the last scene of the first episode, when they did the handoff, when they were like walking next to each other, I was like, I actually like shouted in real life, you know. I was like, what? Because they had set this up. This was not like a surprise. It was foreshadowed that they have some kind of connection, but I didn't expect it to be so direct like that. It just completely caught me off guard, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I had to watch episode 2 right away.
Yeah, I'm just like, again, this show is gonna be the sleeper hit, and it's not gonna be the only one. It's like this and the Vivi show are gonna be two sleeper hits. I feel they're just gonna like. I feel like they're gonna mess up the charts.
I think this is a Monday show
hopefully.
Too, and I've been. I want the next episode for Oddtaxi already. Like I've been thinking about it since I stopped watching. I want to watch it all over again. Like it's so good. And I think that one thing that's actually carrying the show is the dialogue. So
yeah, it's very clean.
They're doing this thing. I don't remember if they did it all 3 episodes, but they do this thing where at the beginning of the episode, in episode 1, 2, he listens to the radio, and there's a lot of like, not lore, but just like general information that gets that comes through the radio. It's very interesting. And then when the 2 guys from the radio got into his cab, and I don't know, I love it. It's just, you know, because this is all on purpose, right? Like the writers of this show, they made it so that all of these characters are coming together at the exact same time, and each one of them is so developed. And you know what's cool? This show does something very important, which is that each one of these characters had a life, a very full and complete life, before the point in time that the anime is showing. And what I mean by that is like, they didn't exist just for the sake of the plot. You know, they have their lives
very much like
developed.
They have a presence in the
Yes.
city, and they have like
Yes.
a meaningful placing it that we can see, even
Yeah.
if they're not completely shown.
100%. And that's really important because it makes it feel like they're real characters, right? Which is kind of funny, right? Because all characters are real in some sense, but like
Yeah, but
it's like they have a soul, you know what I mean?
yeah, they're
So
very like realistic to us because we can like at that point out to the street and be like, this
Yeah.
is that kind of character that
Yeah.
does all of this, and also we get a glimpse into their kind of arc in this story as well.
Yeah. Really, really interesting show. I love it.
Oddtaxi, people.
Oddtaxi. You gotta watch it.
It's like, I feel like this is like a recurring thing with us where we see something that has like this very questionable poster or animation or like visual thing that might like push people away, and these shows like tend to be the most like insane stuff that blow everybody away at the end.
One more comment. Yeah, I totally agree. And one more comment about Oddtaxi is what happened. So there's a lot of scenes in just these first 3 episodes. There have been a bunch of scenes where the dude is driving. What's his name? I keep forgetting. But he's driving people are Odokawa is driving people around in his taxi. That's his job, right? And so what is cool and fun about these scenes where he's just driving people around is that every single time he gets into a conversation with one of them, it is deep. He's not like, oh, how's your day? Oh yeah, like how's work? No, he's not. It's not like, it's like with the very first passenger that he had in the first episode with the dude who wanted to go viral on Twitter or whatever.
He's still gonna play a part in this show, I feel.
Yeah, I think he's also gonna come back. But they had like a heart to heart, like, why do you want to go viral? Like, why do you want to be famous? Like, what does that do for you in your life? You know what I mean? It was just like deep, and then every single person that comes into his taxi cab has this deep conversation with him, and it's interesting.
Actually, so you remember when I said about the last show we talked about, the Bishonen Tanteidan?
Yeah.
Shaft used to do these kind of like dialogues over this like mundane like things. That's the exact kind of dialogue Shaft used to write. A dialogue that kind of develops naturally from the interest of characters in each other. And it just like it's not like they're talking about something, they're just talking and it kind of just develops, right?
And so yeah, exactly. Sorry, am I cutting you off? Do you have more to say? Go ahead.
I have another point like on Oddtaxi, which I really hope every episode will have like, I feel like in every episode we got one cab drive, right?
Yes, at least one.
I really hope they're gonna keep this up, where we get like this kind of like cab drive every episode. I think that could be very interesting.
I think so, but I think it's gonna be hard too, because like there's so much going on.
That's true.
I don't know if they can continuously do all these cab drives. But what I was gonna say is that like, what's going on with characters being interested in each other is it mirrors like the reasons why people find other people interesting in real life, right? Because like when someone wants to ask you, some question that is more than just like, how was your day, then they're more interesting to you as a person, right? Like you learn more about them, you become more interested in them. And so like we basically have like a little micro version of this in Oddtaxi. And well, I don't know if I would call it a micro version. I mean that it's like scaled up in a way, like they have accelerated the process at which characters become invested in each other, right? And so that's really interesting to see happen in real time. I'm personally always interested in seeing like in real life how people come together, right? Because I'm just fascinated by like that aspect of human relations where two people who didn't know each other become friends. That's interesting to me. And I feel like when I watch Oddtaxi that's what I'm watching, and so it's very cool. I love it.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but back when, like, a couple weeks ago, when you asked me if you have
Mm-hmm.
shows to show, then you should save them. That
Yep.
was the show I wanted to show.
Oh yeah.
I said I have a special one. So,
Okay.
so that was the one.
Gotcha.
Um,
Well, I'm glad I watched
and
it. Somebody else
yeah,
ended up recommending it, but I
you
mean, I'm
beat
glad
me
you.
to it, but yeah.
I'm glad that I watched it. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I'm just checking down, making sure there's
Yeah.
nothing else I'm missing.
Have you watched all of these though? I'm
Well,
assuming no. I'm
I
assuming that you haven't gotten to every single one yet.
I watched the Sayonara Watashi no Kramer. I watched Dragon Ievokao.
Okay.
Um, I wasn't super into them, but I'm pretty sure I'll drop
Mm-hmm.
them next week. They were
Yeah.
just not very interesting. There's something
Mm-hmm.
that really annoys me when people make sports shows with girls. They feel like instead of just being like serious, they have to spend like half the season doing this. Oh well, we're just girls. We can't really play the sport seriously, so we're gonna do like half a
Mm-hmm.
season about this. Then you're gonna get like 3 episodes of actual season,
Yeah. Or
which
on.
feels so bad.
Yeah, I agree. The other side of it that a lot of shows are guilty of is that they make it too suggestive. Especially because like
Yeah.
a lot of these sports shows or just anime in general tends to be around high school kids, you know.
Hmm.
So it's like I don't know if you just it's just not my kind of show. And
Yeah.
I'm specifically thinking of that rock climbing show right now.
Yeah, but so that's like the rock climbing show is like a very specific like kind of like a here's a cast of girls and each one is like
Yeah.
this like body size and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this show is kind of like there was a baseball show like about a year ago or so.
Okay.
That was called like Nine Cinderella whatever something.
Mm-hmm.
And that show had the same exact problem as this one,
Uh,
where they have like they want this to be serious. They're not sexualizing this or anything.
Okay.
It's just like imagine like going into a
Yeah.
sports show that was about guys. It's the
Yeah.
same thing, but they would spend like half the season instead of the first episode establishing every character's struggle with learning the sport because they have more trouble learning the sport. None of them like it's like 75% of them never played soccer before, and like instead of just like doing like here are girls, they're interested in playing soccer and they're doing it, they're growing as a team and whatever the things that we normally see in sports shows. They
Yeah.
spend half the season just like being, oh lol, I can't kick ball, lol. And it's like
Yeah. It gets
just
tiring.
like yeah,
Like
just
you.
like let them play.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot to say about that kind of format other than it gets boring to watch because you've seen it already with all the other characters that came before. So
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, there's a show about pottery. It wasn't
Pottery.
interesting though.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Okay.
checked the first episode. I don't know, maybe that could be me. I was just like not interested.
Okay.
So yeah.
I mean,
Um,
some of these like educational type shows can be interesting. I'm specifically thinking
it
of.
wasn't so educational though.
Okay. Well then,
What were you thinking of?
I was thinking of that one ramen show where it's like two girls that go and eat ramen with each other like
Yeah,
all the time.
I
And
remember that one.
I like that show because like it taught me a lot about ramen I didn't know before, and I thought it was interesting. I didn't actually like the characters.
Yeah, this show is more like Glass Slip. If
Okay.
you've watched it like
I
six
haven't
years
watched
ago
it.
or so.
No, I haven't watched it, but I heard of it. Yeah.
where- yeah, they're just kind of like they're doing like a glass. I don't know how you call that.
Yeah.
They're where you blow into glass, like hot glass.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just like mundane, boring people do that thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just not interested.
Yeah. I feel you.
There was this how's it called? Book Shufudo. I can't find it here. People were shitting about the show a lot
Oh.
before it came out. There it is. Goku Shufudo. They released all 5 episodes. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it. It's like 5 episodes, each is like 16 minutes. I think it was funny. I don't want people shitting on this like animation anymore. I feel like
I read the manga for this, not the whole thing, because I think it's still ongoing. But I read a good portion of the manga and I loved it. I thought it was
yeah, it was
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah.
Like I came into this and people like kept like relentlessly saying like how terrible the decision to make the animation the way it was, where it's just
Really?
like it feels almost cardboardy, or like it's like there's almost no animation to it. It's just like it's very
Oh, okay.
like
I'll check it
slapped
out.
like scenes.
I'll check
But
it out.
I just felt like it's fine because it had to be a very low budget kind of like, you know the comedy in this is just like
Yeah.
it's just like slapping like, oh lol, he's a gangster, and it's like everybody understands like him, and he just kind of wants to cook and be chill.
I
Uh,
yeah, I like the manga because he is the way he is, but he has a very like normal down to earth wife.
yeah,
So
and she's so funny as well.
yeah, she's funny, and so I thought it was great. I thought the manga was great.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, it's not an insane show or anything. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
I just don't want people to disqualify over the animation.
I think
It
people
feels
should
so
try it, and I think if people don't like the anime, they should at least give a couple of chapters of the manga a shot and see if that format
Yeah.
is better for them.
weird. I feel like last thing that we can bring up. I just watched the last episode this morning.
Okay. Oh, the
Spider
spider.
anime
The
from
spider.
last season.
Yeah.
Dude, so well. I have to say, like, I remember coming into the show because of a recommendation from Utsu,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I don't know this studio. I don't even know if they did anything. The animation is kind of shady.
Yeah.
Oh, they did Berserk. Jesus.
Berserk from
like the new
when?
Berserk.
Oh, the new Berserk.
The
Okay.
new Berserk, yeah.
Because the old
They haven't-
Berserk did not do it great.
So like, they don't have any like notable animation. The animation they do for
Sure.
Spider is not insane.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 3D stuff in it, which are fine. They're doing like
Yeah.
okay job with it. But this show is so like, okay, this is like a major example of like a voice actor carrying, but it's just like it really works great in this show.
Yeah.
It's just like I feel like people should watch this probably because it's really fun to watch. Like the episodes just go by so nicely.
I think so. I've watched 6 episodes of it. I think I do want to finish it. Because I've heard that it gets better. So yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about the Spider Show. From the 6 episodes I've watched, like I liked it, but I didn't have like any particularly strong opinions on it. I'll just keep watching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you know that the end for Wonder Egg is gonna come out on June 30th.
Okay.
As like a special end episode.
Yeah.
And the movie for Demon Slayer is now, as far as I know, translated and out.
Oh, where? Because it's not gonna be out here until June.
No, it's not out. It's not out like
officially.
For yeah, officially, but it's like out
on the
there
7 Seas
somewhere. Yeah.
I see.
So
well,
yeah, and I feel like that kind of covers everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to watch the movie.
I do want to watch the movie too. I know that's not out officially until June, so I don't know if I'll wait or if I'll try and see it before then. But
We'll
I think that's good for today. And then next time, I will catch up on what should I prioritize here.
Okay, let's quick rundown.
Yeah.
My Hero.
You were saying that.
Umitsu,
Yeah, Haken Shimasu. Sentoin
Haken Shimasu.
That one I'll catch up on.
I think this one is worth a watch definitely.
Yeah.
And we got Zombieland Saga if you're watching it. Megalo, Oddtaxi.
I can watch Zombieland. I'm gonna continue watching everything that I've started, but I'm just looking to see what should I catch up.
I missed free shows when I was scrolling down.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I know at least one person who's excited about Moriarty season 2.
Oh, not these free shows.
Not those free shows.
Okay. Mars Red. Don't watch it. I think it's boring. I don't like vampires though.
Sure.
But it's like not very interesting.
Yeah.
Shadow House. I watched 2 episodes. It felt completely empty. People keep telling me the manga picks up.
Yeah.
It's really hard to watch.
Okay.
Like this is like maybe one of the worst like experience I've had so far.
Oh boy. This season. Okay, because last season had some
Yeah, no, not
extremely
even
bad.
close to that. No, not even close to XCOM. But like
Okay.
this season, like this was like some of the most boring
Yeah.
things I've seen.
Alrighty.
Mashiro no Oto is interesting actually. The first episode
Ah.
has a very mature sense to it.
Ooh.
Then it kind of, but then it kind of went to a more high school kind of feel to
Gotcha.
it. I really hope they pick back up the maturity because the
Yeah.
first episode was kind of like a runaway that went to Tokyo, and he was kind of dealing with a girl who was like a call girl and her
Yeah.
abusive boyfriend. That
Oh.
was like the first episode.
I see. Interesting.
And he kind of like helped her mature and release herself from that like situation.
That's a lot
But
in
then
one episode.
but then he enrolled in a high school because he's like a teenager still. He's
Gotcha.
like 17 or so.
Yeah, gotcha.
And he joins like a club for shamisen, and I really hope they don't do that. I hope they go back to the era of the first episode, but if not, then I'll tell you, and just like otherwise it's a
Okay.
skip.
Yeah.
These are the shows I missed.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the Oddtaxi, the Megalobox, My Hero, Fumetsu, Sento in Haken Shimasu, maybe Tokyo Revengers if it picks up, Higa maybe.
Oh, Vivi.
Vivi.
Fluoride.
It's definitely
Okay.
a check. You have to check it. Okay.
Okay.
You have to promise
Yeah.
me to
So
check it.
I will.
Because this is
just-
gonna be another sleeper.
I'm just trying to make a mental note of the shows that I need to start and catch up on because I'm gonna continue watching all the ones I've already started. Yeah. So.
I definitely think Vivi should be one that you
Okay.
check out soon because
Okay.
I would say it's on par with the good things this season so far.
Okay.
And it already has 4 episodes out, so I want you to have
Ooh.
less kind of a
Ooh.
catch up
Yeah.
to do.
I can probably binge 4 episodes like even just after this. Like I'll stay up and I'll watch
for
4
sure.
episodes.
If you want to.
Yeah, I'm probably
wouldn't
gonna.
mind.
Well, I mean, after we're done, I'm probably just gonna go get food and I'll watch a little bit of
Yeah.
anime or something. I don't know.
Okay, if you want to watch My Hero, let me know.
Oh shoot! Actually, now I
Because
think
My
about
Hero
it,
is out.
I have class at 10 in the morning, which is like 5 hours from now or something. So
Go to sleep.
6 hours
Okay.
from now. So I do need to sleep at some point because if I don't sleep, then I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do for class.
All right, then we
Okay.
should be wrapping this up.
Yeah, we can wrap up, and then there's a lot to look forward to this season, which is
Yeah, I'm
great.
pretty
I love
excited.
it.
I like that this season is coming up with a lot of surprises.
Yes, I love when there's surprises because
Yeah.
usually it means that they're good surprises,
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I mean most of the time.
most of the time. Oh boy, wow, we went for a long time today. We're like almost at the 1:45 mark, so that's great. Love it. We had a lot.
Hello,
to talk,
Bokuno.
we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
Alright.
we did. Okay.
So
Bokuno, we're just wrapping up.
we're wrapping up. We're out of here. It's done. And
If you have any question, you're welcome to
2
say
weeks.
it. But yeah, you're closing your stream.
I will in a minute. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
We'll try and be back in 2 weeks. And hopefully we'll have updates for a bunch of these other shows that we didn't talk about in depth today.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
Hopefully.
that's
So I'll
good.
catch you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
As they say.
Cool.
Or
Cool.
in the Discord.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm sure that we can talk in Discord too. All right. Well, that's it for today. I'm ending stream.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.